Something, a little bit of news this morning. Utah bans fluoride in public drinking water. It's the first state in the U.S. to do so. This is part of the whole MAHA movement, Make America Healthy Again movement. And joining us this morning, we have an expert on the subject of tainted water. And for credentials, it's important to say, how did Mario become an expert on the subject of tainted drinking water? Well, how does anyone become an expert on anything with 10,000 hours of repetitive engagement? And of course, Mario has consumed 10,000 hours of Alex Jones videos, making him an expert on, various things going into the water to make the kids dumb and the frogs gay.
Yeah. Well, the reason your kids are gay, it's a multifaceted problem. Okay, not exclusive to the drinking water, but it certainly doesn't help. Okay? Go in your children's bedroom right now. Start yelling at them. Put down the sodium fluoride. Put it down.
There used to be a chemist. He isn't anymore because what he took for H2O was H2SO4.
Yeah. Daddy's going to take off his belt and beat that calcification of your pineal gland off. All right.
So,
actually, yeah.
So, jokes aside, what makes you particularly qualified to speak on this topic?
Well, I have worked for 5 years in the water industry. Okay, that is basically my job. Okay, sales, technical support, and customer service for whole house water filtration systems, and also under the sink reverse osmosis. Okay, I'm basically Hank Hill, but for water instead of propane and propane accessories. All right, you can think of it that way. So, and prior to that, not that it really had any connection, but I did for 3 years work as a commercial diver doing underwater construction. So I worked within the ambient of water for a number of years, and now I work within water itself. Okay, so and I'm an expert swimmer. So yes, all things water.
An expert swimmer.
Yes, if I was one of the kids on Captain Planet, I would be like the white male version of that Asian chick who controlled water. Okay, so all right.
So trans.
Chris would no doubt be Earth. All right. Cameron, regrettably, Heart. Yeah, sorry.
And Patrick would of course be the element of bust.
Yeah. And anyone in the audience who's a Zoomer is looking at us right now like, what the hell are you people talking about? All right. Captain Planet was one of the most underappreciated, I think, cartoons of the 90s. All right.
I actually enjoyed Captain Planet because they had the best villains.
They did, and like looking back on it now, you can see that the entire purpose of the show was just naked propagandization of children as far as the environmentalism was concerned. You know what I mean? Like
the villains were Duke Nukem and Loot and Plunder. The guy's name was Loot and Plunder.
Is that who the pig man was? The pig man with the orange hair?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I particularly remember like even being like 12 years old and watching one episode and seeing this anthropomorphic pig man, okay, with a with a bionic commando haircut, and he had basically constructed like a multi-million-dollar like in industrial operation. Like he built an entire industrial plant, which would have required like tens of millions of dollars, even at the time, of capital investment. And the only product he was producing was dumping green toxic slime into the local estuary.
Right.
I'm only 12 years old, and I'm looking at this like, where's the profit incentive? How is he paying for this operation? Right. Like he must have angel capitalists or demon capitalists, okay, dumping endless streams of money into this man's elaborate facility just for him to destroy a local wetland. Okay.
Yeah, the naked propaganda was hilarious because you're right. The primary direct motivation for each villain was always to pollute. It was never that they had some goal like, oh, I'm building a new electric car factory, or I want to build a nuclear power plant, and the Planeteers are fighting against. Oh, but it has a byproduct that has a negative impact on. No, no,
Yeah,
no, no, no. It was I'm going to spend $50 billion and build a machine that pumps that converts natural forest land
resources.
into toxic sludge.
Exactly. I'm converting valuable primary resources into slag for I'm going from the resource to the waste product without creating the product in between. Incredible. Okay? Like the villains of the video game series Command and Conquer, they were more complex than Captain Planet, okay?
Yes.
Yes, they were poisoning the planet by basically contaminating swaths of the planet with tritium or whatever that green shit, the green crystals. Those
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, the green crystals were destroying the planet, but at least you could harvest them for an energy source. Anyway, so all right, we've completely lost the script this morning. So
We have
yes,
not. Tell us
I
about
guess.
fluoride. Do you want to tell us about fluoride in the water, or do we want to read the article first?
Well, I can tell a little bit about fluoride in the water.
Okay.
Okay, so fluoride in the water, the fluoride that we use in the water, and the fluoridation of the water started in the late 1950s. All right, the original maximum maximum containment limit (MCL) in the industry, okay, was 1.2 parts per million. All right, so 1.2 parts per million was considered the safe amount of fluoride in the water. The purpose of the fluoride was that it was going to prevent the loss of tooth density, okay, by replacing the minerals in your tooth with teeth with fluoride, all right, as a result of natural wear and tear along the teeth, right? So if you listen to the American Dental Association, we have reduced cavities in children by 25% since the introduction of fluoride in the water, all right? And man, I don't know, but from personal experience, that shit didn't work at all. Okay, because I got a kid with fucking busted ass teeth, which is a source of constant problems for me. Okay,
Yeah, my
so
my 5-year-old has a similar problem, and yes, we've been on well water for a year now,
yeah,
but we were drinking city water for most of her life, and we
right,
she's had to have baby teeth filled for health reasons.
yeah. So yeah, exactly. You get it, or she's gonna get periodontal disease from fucking decay going into the into the jaw.
Yeah.
So right now, I mean, I remember now the source of this fluoride it is sodium fluoride, okay, which is a chemical byproduct as a result of aluminum manufacturing. All right. China runs huge bauxite. Bauxite is the ore that you make aluminum from. Okay, China has huge, basically large bauxite factories. Okay, where they produce most of the world's aluminum, and it's a very very environmentally destructive, toxic process to do this. All right, they sell they sell this waste product to us in the form of sodium fluoride, and then we in turn take that sodium fluoride and put it in the water under the guise of we are going to prevent tooth decay in the country. Now they have revised the maximum containment limit of 1.2 to zero point 0.7 parts per million, all right, in the last 20 years, I believe. But still, the bottom line is it's poison. Sodium fluoride is poison. It is a primary ingredient, okay, precursor used to make rat poison. Okay, it's fucking rat poison. Put rat poison in the water to make your teeth better. And just from an anecdotal perspective, all right, I remember being a little kid in the 80s, all right, back before they basically dropped that maximum containment limit for fluoride in the water. And I, thankfully, my mom, I mean, I don't know how she knew, but we never drank tap water. My mom always bought the big 5 gallon jugs of the drinking water with a little pull tab, you know what I mean,
Hmm.
dispenser. Um, we always had that in the fridge growing up, all right. So I never drank the tap water because my mom knew. My mom came from rural, but mom came from New Hampshire, okay, where she drank the tap water there because the tap water was relatively clean. And then we moved to Hampton Roads, Virginia, around Norfolk, okay, Navy Town, where the tap water was not even close to as clean as it was where she came from. And that's what basically put the idea in her head that this water is bad. We shouldn't drink this water. So thank you, mom. That was great call. But I do remember the other children, my classmates, okay, and friends who did drink the tap water, and I remember them having this like weird problem with their teeth where like the fascia of the enamel was basically peeling off of their teeth, all right? Basically their teeth looked brittle and fucked up. The exact opposite of the effect that the fluoride in the water was supposed to be achieving, all right? Um, Furthermore, the problem with fluoride does cause the literal calcification of the pineal gland. Okay, Pineal. Okay, Papa India November Echo Alpha Lima. Pineal gland. It is a gland in the inner brain, right next to the amygdala. Amygdala. All right, which is supposedly responsible for like a high level creative like intuition. Okay, basically where the in philosophical or spiritual terms, what we consider like that inner eye. Okay, you know what I mean? That gives you insight into things that
The muse, as it were.
yeah, exactly. The ethereal, mysterious part of the brain. Okay,
So to be clear, when you say pineal gland, not a dick joke.
it's not. That's yes. That's why I spelled it out. It's not dicks. Okay. So yeah, it does cause mineral calcification around that gland. All right, which basically reduces IQ. So fluoride is proven to have, especially in young children and developing brains, causes um, basically neurological problems. It causes low IQ and emotional issues in children if overexposed. Right. So
And
as far as
you
I'm
know,
concerned,
on,
there is still
on
some
that,
limit.
Mario, this article from September of last year, the EPA must address fluoridated water's risk to children's IQ, U.S. judges rule. So
Yep.
bottled water brands are okay. So a federal judge in California has ordered the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency to strengthen regulations for fluoride in drinking water, saying the compound poses an unreasonable potential risk to children at levels that are currently typical nationwide. With several advocacy groups finding the current practice of adding fluoride to drinking water supplies to fight cavities presented unreasonable risks for children's developing brains. We can like you mentioned, dentists, we get we get dental cleanings and whatnot, and they use fluoride in the material that they clean with. You got fluoride in your toothpaste, and the dentist will tell you to spit that out. You're not supposed to swallow
Correct.
the fluoridated material,
Correct.
right? Um, Charlie says he remembers in the 80s, elementary school had fluoride mouthwash once a month.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah,
That really like it was either orange or purple. Okay, it was that really concentrated orange, like orange flavor, unnatural. That
yeah.
weird. You're supposed to swish it around your mouth and then spit it out because it was why? Because it's freaking toxic. Okay, so yeah, like not ingesting it, that's a great idea. But I mean, do you think you're not getting like a slow drip of that contamination going down your throat from what you swished around in your mouth? Of course you are. And like, do children really understand what they're doing? No, it's pushed upon them. All right.
So
Additionally, why would
there's
you? And especially, they do the fluoridation, especially on young children. Okay, why? They have baby teeth. They're going to lose those teeth anyway. Why would you need to
uh,
do that?
they don't. So and in some cases they don't even have baby teeth. We one of the things that Tim Pool had. What's her face? Oh god, what's her name? Uh,
The Jewish woman, or
Atkinson.
the Jewish woman, or the Anglo-Saxon woman?
Atkinson. Cheryl
Atkinson.
Atkinson.
Okay.
Um, she's quite Aryan looking, Mario.
Is it
For
the daughter of oh god,
I,
the guy who
I have
founded
no idea.
Meter? Meter?
I have no idea. But
Okay.
they were talking about it, and she talked about that it was that the fluoride was originally an industrial waste product, that
Yes,
it was introduced into the water as a scheme to mitigate the cost of disposing of that waste product
that is
originally.
correct. That is correct.
And the reason I bring up Tim Pool is, Tim Pool recently had a baby, and one of the things that I have enjoyed kind of a guilty Schadenfreude over the last
Yeah.
10 years or so is watching the slow red pilling of Tim Pool. Somebody tried to break into his house. Now he's a 2A absolutist, right? Nice. Uh, Come back to that. So he it just watch it. He's been instructive. He's like the case study in the kids that you talk about. Oh, you got your first job with a paycheck. Oh, you got your first paycheck. Oh yeah. You see those numbers? What do you think of the government now, son? Oh yeah, they took half your damn money, didn't they? Well, so one of the things that Tim talked about on that was he said he had some friends who had just had a kid, and he this was something that caught his attention before his baby was born. His friends had bottled water in their home that was advertised as specifically bottled water for baby formula, and it was fluoridated.
Yeah, I
And
know.
he's sitting there telling his buddies like,
Like monstrous.
"What? Why?
Monstrous.
What? Why are you adding fluoride to your baby's water? Oh well, because it's good for them. It's healthy. They don't have teeth. Your nursing child doesn't have teeth
Yeah.
yet. What the
You're,
hell
you're intentionally reducing the
could they need
child's
fluoride
IQ.
for?
Yeah, you're taking part in a psyop to reduce your children's IQ. All right. So yeah, IQ fluoridation of water results in lower IQ in children. All right. And someone asked if this could be the cause of the urban inner city crime. I absolutely guarantee that's one of the facets, along with basically little black kids not eating anything even remotely close to a healthy diet. Okay.
You know what? This just occurred to me, Mario. When you have a child that's breastfed, entirely breastfed,
Mhm.
right? It's not like you're giving them water all the time. They're getting everything from the tip,
Correct. And
right?
if you don't give your kids, if your children are not breastfed, then you actually need to give them water in a bottle occasionally. Okay.
Correct.
Because yeah, but breast milk is literally like ambrosia. Okay, it's everything you need. It's everything. It's like the slop from the Matrix, right? It's
It's
everything the
well,
body.
it's beyond everything you need. This is why formula is such a bad play. Formula is kind of like, okay, here's the stuff that everybody needs, but none of the stuff that you need specifically. But when a baby latches on, their saliva tells the breast, hey, this is what we need. And so the formula is formulated specifically for each child. And
Yes.
doctors will tell you that the place that you can see this most clearly is when you have a premature child, and the breast milk will have much higher fat content to deal with the weight concern of the baby. But yeah, breast milk is absolute magic.
Yes, very
And
exciting. And
so
specifically your mommy's breast juice, okay, is specifically
correct.
it was made for you. It's literally made for you at a genetic level, okay? It's full of antibodies. It's full of basically you can transfer immunity to your children. All right, um, basically it's the total package for a child's health. Okay, physical, physical and neurological. Um, not breastfeeding your child. For I guess any expectant mothers out there. Okay, and if you grew up in a household where you weren't breastfed or breastfed wasn't the norm, okay, and it just seems weird or icky to you, all right, y- I would say get over it, but there are options. Okay, we do have the little pump kits. Okay, you can get those, and you can make mommy's little dairy farm. All right, and put the suction cups on you. Okay, just pump that shit. All right, while you're watching TV or doing anything. All right, it's just as good from the bottle, as it is directly from you. Um, but
When my wife was pregnant with our first baby, and she was still working full time, and she had one of the catalogs, and she was looking at breast pumps. Oh, good. My wife is watching now as I'm telling this story. She had one of the catalogs, and we were looking at breast pumps and looking at the price of the damn things. And I was like, Jesus Christ, they cost how much?
well, that was in Hawaii too. I remember
Yeah,
because
yeah, that was in
we bought
Hawaii.
it
And
was Hawaii. It was like
I
it was
said,
great.
hell with that. $20. I'll get a stool and a bucket, and I'll milk you. I got hit for that one.
Yes, the mommy's little theory.
Again, I'm glad my wife is watching now because I bet she'll remember this. Around that same time, we were in the car one day heading somewhere and listening to talk radio, and there was a report that women in the black community don't like to breastfeed. There's a very serious negative stigma attached to breastfeeding, and they had interviews with women, and they were saying things like, "Oh, that's just nasty. You stick your titty in a baby mouth. That's just nasty." Like,
are you a mammal? Are you not a mammal?
Right. It's like, pooping is also gross.
That's the female.
I highly recommend it, though.
It's the female equivalent of being, you want me to put my thing up in there? That's nasty. Like,
yeah, I'm like, well, so I said all that to say this: you can look at some social trends, and it suddenly bears asking the question: is because we know that there is a substantial positive correlation to a child's development, to the development of their intelligence quotient, that is directly correlated with whether or not they were breastfed. And those studies have been done over such a period that it certainly bears the question: is at least an element of that causality related to the earlier exposure to ingested fluoride in infants who are not breastfed? And I say that this is one of those where you could say correlation doesn't equal causation, and I will have to remind you that neither does correlation exclude causation.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Right?
Oh yeah. F. Larry. No, I'm going to get back to the fluoride. Okay, just a moment. Just wanted to comment. F. Lowry says everything involved in the reproduction and care of the generation is gross. Yes. Having a baby. Okay, not just the mother, but the father included. Okay, basically helping out and basically cleaning up the messes. Okay, and nothing will remind you that you are in fact an animal than basically taking care of a baby. It's
hey,
it's a beautiful thing though.
Hey Mario, I got to interrupt you because this just happened. It says Preserve Design has rated this stream. Preserve Design, I am so grateful for you doing that. And here I need I have questions. I don't know how to do raids. How do I raid somebody's stream? So we're actually going to be wrapping up here in just a few minutes. And then I'm going to because I've got to get on the road and go handle some business this morning. I want to raid a stream at the end of the show every day, and I don't understand how to do the raid. So yeah, if you could explain that to me and then suggest somebody, I will raid the shit out of whoever you want.
Well,
okay, it says go to who you want to raid, right? Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and I believe you mean pull up Rumble and select a raid target.
What is happening?
We're gonna attempt to raid someone.
Dude, everyone knows how that you go on Discord and you join as many groups that have as many trans flags as possible, and then you just identify someone who's right wing who you want attacked.
No, we want to
raid. They do it for you.
We want to raid someone, Mario, not swat them.
Trannies can be your own private internet army. All you have to do is throw them bait. Maybe some feet pics. That's what we have Cam for.
Okay, excellent. So yes, you just select your target, load the page, and start watching the video. Okay, got it. I'm not going to do that this morning, but that's something that that I've been wanting to do generally. Gotcha. So that's it. Nice. Perfect. Okay, so Mario, you and I can talk later about who we're going to raid, how we're going to do that, and I want to get in the habit of raiding other streams and not the same one every morning.
Okay. Remember,
Um,
I am a Luddite, so you'll have to explain it to me in terms of
and for
literally breaking and entering. Okay.
and for a little context, like a big part of the reason I want to do this is that's how the whole thing that Crowder and Poole and Brand and them are doing with the lineup. That's how they're doing that. At the end of each show, they're rating each other, which basically just takes their audience and sends it to the next show.
Right. Gotcha.
So if I understand it correctly, if I raid somebody else, then whoever's watching my show right now, unless they click a button to opt out, they'll automatically be transferred to the next show, whatever it is.
Cool. All right. So I guess to bring us back on topic and kind of wrap this up here, right? So fluoridation of the water, sodium fluoride. All right. Waste product created from aluminum production. We actually buy China's waste and we put it in our water. We used to have our own aluminum industry, of course, but hey, right? Thanks, Reagan. Anyway, so right, so we put that in the water under the impression that it is going to prevent tooth decay. All right. Right now, the biggest group that is pushing back against this Utah bill is the American Dental Association. So go ahead. We have a new op, people. We got to correct our op deck. Okay, we got World Health Organization. Um, the Davos, right? Let's add American Dental Association there on our. Okay? Anyway, right now the
I could do
alternative.
it, but I could mount a drop down murder board here.
Yeah, the optic, right?
Yeah.
Optic update. American Dental Association is your enemy. What? It's like so many. It's like so many things in America, in America's society and in our economy, right? Um, we are we are really loath to change anything that has an established like revenue stream going on. Okay, that's kind of the you want to talk about late stage capitalism. I don't know if this falls into that. Okay, but we have a problem in America where if something is making money, we won't change it, even if it's hurting people. Okay, that is a big problem. That is a big problem. And honestly, that is a legitimate critique of capitalism. Okay, something making money isn't inherently good. Okay, if you're making money off of harming people. Okay, and especially in a democracy like ours, where you have lobbying. Lobbying is such a major component where so much money is going into financing politicians for the sake of a certain cottage industry, either major or cottage industries. Okay. So someone's making money off poisoning your fucking kids. All right. And because they're making money, it's not going to be stopped unless it's pushed against. Okay. So what we used to do in this country, believe it or not, before fluoridation, in the 1920s and 1930s, we actually added iodine to the public drinking water. Okay. Iodine was actually raising the IQ of children, raising people's IQ, because iodine traps heavy metals. Okay. It basically renders heavy metals inert. All right. So they don't bore into your neural tissue. Okay. Like lead poisoning does and cause damage. So iodine's a great immunity booster. And we used to add that to the water. Now, that may have been along with stealing Nazi scientists in Project Paperclip. That may have been what got us to the moon. Okay, basically iodine in the water. But we did away with that and then started adding fluoride, which has basically the exact opposite neurological effect. All right, Th- this is by design. Like this was done intentionally. It's no accident. It's no accident. So just, I mean,
Right.
if
All
you
right.
need reason number 1028 why you shouldn't trust the government, well, there you go.
All right, guys. So we need to go ahead and put a pin in it. I got a couple of things I want to button up real quick. We've got a.
Alex
I,
Bleeping Jones, Bleeping Jones, basically, he's kind of getting close to it. In America, okay, in American healthcare, we do not cure a disease. Okay, we treat the symptoms.
right. So
Because treating the symptoms is an industry, okay, with an infinite profit stream. Curing the disease, that's not a continuing profit scheme.
right. Okay, Mario, shut up so I can chill for a minute. So
No.
this is you got the thing there to go and sign up for Rumble. You can use that. You can use that link there to get $10 off an annual subscription. When Rumble first started in 2013, they built the platform for the small creator. They didn't censor or have biases. They were fair and treated all creators equally. That has been a boon for this show and our friends. Many of our friends, like over at the TPS Report Live, which will be live tonight at 9 o'clock. Just go check that out. They were fair and treated all creators equally. No one thought platforms would censor political conversation or censor opinions on COVID, but they did. Facebook admitted they fell to pressure from the Biden and Harris administration. Rumble did not. They held the line. They are attacked daily for giving us a voice to talk to you. They are attacked in corporate media. They're attacked by governments like France. They're attacked from brand advertisers who work with them, who refuse to work with them. Corporate America is fighting to remove speech. Rumble is fighting to keep it. Rumble won't survive with brand advertisers. They don't get much out of it. Watching our show on Rumble is the most they can ask from you. But if you really believe in this fight, and if you have the means, one major way you can help Rumble survive is by joining Rumble Premium. Joining Rumble Premium, we do a premium show every Saturday night now. Mario just took us down an incredible deep dive on the truth behind the Oklahoma City bombings, and we're going to be bringing you that content every Saturday night for the foreseeable future. I've had a blast hosting those shows with Mario. Great content like that, and you get all kind of great premium content like that from other creators. Join the community that believes in the First Amendment and believes in our human right to free speech. Rumble's offering $10 off the promo code STUDIO when you purchase an annual subscription. Go to rumble.com/premium. Use promo code STUDIO. Like I said, if you have the means and believe in the cause, now is the time to join Rumble Premium. If you don't have the means, we are just happy if you watch us on Rumble. And, Daily Wire is about to collapse. So if you've got that subscription, you go ahead and cancel that one and come over here because we'd love to have you.
Yep. So yeah, what is it? It's like $10 a month or $99 for a year, right? So
yeah,
it's worth it. I mean, look, if you want to get more out of Rumble, okay, and make it more of an option to basically, try to withdraw from the heroin that is YouTube, okay, you get a lot more content with the Rumble Premium. So don't get it just to watch us, okay? Get it to there's a lot more available on Rumble.
I mentioned earlier that I have enjoyed watching the slow red pilling of Tim Pool over time. Another one, Russell Brand. Russell Brand went from heroin addict doing stand-up about analingus to this like reformed Jesus freak hippie ultra Trump supporter. It was like he went into rehab and rehab was, here's a red hat with a cross on it. It says MAGA across this way and Maha down this way.
Pit Danny says, get some mint snuff. Yes, that's correct. But you will know that Rush Fire Mind has officially made it when Larry is on camera shilling cigarette smoking alternatives, or, in fact, your boy, Raid Shadow Legends. But we're not there yet.
I have played Raid Shadow Legends because some of my favorite creators shilled that game. I cannot in sincerity highly recommend it. It's mediocre at best.
Yep.
Good graphics. Good art.
Yep.
Pretty much where it stops. All right. Yep. So, Apple Eater with Rome says, but Dope Daddy YouTube doesn't have nearly as many streaming issues. You are not wrong, but I tell you what, YouTube. Yeah, we've had a lot of fights with YouTube, and that's probably not going to end anytime soon. I am going to keep this live stream on YouTube and continue to grow our platform there. I keep repeating this, and I want to make sure you guys get this. Wherever you're watching, make sure you like, share, subscribe, and all the good stuff. But YouTube, we are primarily staying on YouTube as an attack vector to try and push people to Rumble.
Yeah, why wouldn't you? I mean, it's sad, but it is true. Okay, YouTube is a superior product, but it's run by horrible people. Okay, so at some point, at some point you have to divest from it. So
Yep. All right,
unless
guys.
unless there's some dramatic, trade commission deal where YouTube basically gets separated from Google, you know what I mean? And we go back to 2006 YouTube, but it's not going to happen.
Right.
Google would never give that up.
All right, guys. We appreciate y'all watching this morning. Y'all be safe out there. We love you, and we will see you tomorrow.
Ciao. Oh no.